Okay, Danny, now we're at the critical point, the part where we create a few arguments, sometimes between us, sometimes between us and the fans, but we're going to pick three big games this weekend. And the first one, two big names. Westwood at Lake Travis. Westwood took the week off this week, and they beat Austin High 2 weeks ago. Lake Travis is coming off an emotional loss to Westlake, but Lake Travis is at home. How do you see it?
Rick, I like this matchup because it's probably going to help decide what the best team in Austin is. And, these are two very good teams. The only problem I see with Lake Travis is, they're going to go as far as Garrett Gilbert takes them. And, the first game, second half, he was phenomenal. Last week, he had some problems. And, they can't afford to have another 3-interception game. So I think I like Westwood in this game. They were solid against Austin High. They got a new quarterback in Tyler Grabaskiewicz, and
Grabarkowitz, yeah.
Yeah, him. And they're only going to get better as he improves. So I think they're going to pull out a close one here.
Yeah, I agree with you in that these are two of the best teams in town. But I think the reason that Garrett suffered as much as he did was because they were trying to establish a running game that just never came about. So Westlake was just poised on the pass, and because of that, I'm also going to take Westwood. I like Grabarkowitz. I like their receivers. I like the middle linebacker Chase Griesbach is real tough in the middle. They beat Austin High 2 weeks ago fairly handily, and I was surprised by that. So I'm going to go with Westwood in this game, and I think we're going to have a difference of opinion in this second game, though, because two good teams, Pflugerville, San Marcos. I'll let you shoot first.
Well, Pflugerville, they are 2-0, but, their 2 wins have only come by a combined 12 points, and I think this might be their first loss of the season. I like San Marcos in this game. They have a player called Brandon Banks. Last week he had 145 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and he also returned a punt 80 yards for a score. I like what he brings to their offense, but in order for, San Marcos to win, he's going to have to be a lot more consistent because in their first game of the year, which they lost, he had less than 30 yards rushing on 10 carries, and so they need him to be more steady. And they have a couple other backup running backs who need to, also bring it when they're in the game. So I think if they can get all those things going together, I think they have a really good shot at winning this.
That's a good argument. It's not going to win, though, but hey, it's a good argument.
I do my best.
You do your best, but Pflugerville's going to win this game. And even though you said as they didn't win big this past weekend, 23-16 over a pretty good Bryan team. That's a good win, and Pflugerville has something to prove. They were 3-7 last year, which is totally unlike Pflugerville. I like them because they have a very aggressive running game. They have 3 guys on the team that can rush for 100 yards at the same time if given a chance. And Greg Woko broke the game open last weekend. He ran 80 yards for a touchdown near the end that solidified that in victory. So I think it's going to be close, though. I'll give you that much. But I'm going to take Pflugerville out of this one. And last but not least, 2 teams with mild surprises last week. Dripping Springs defeated Wimberley 31-14, and Aikens defeated Johnston 47-0. I'm just, I know that they were going to probably beat Johnston, but maybe not by that score. Who do you like?
Well, I think I like Aikens in this game. So far this season, I think their secondary has come to play. Last week they held Johnston to single-digit passing numbers, and the week before that they had an interception return for a touchdown. I think that's going to be key, to try to contain Jordan Moore. That secondary is going to have to come and play, and I think they can do that. Dripping Springs has, I was impressed with the win over Wimberley, but we're not really sure how good Wimberley is this year because they've had 2 tough losses back to back. So I'm not really sure what to take from that win, but I think this weekend I think Aikens can pull it out.
Well, Aikens is the home team, and they very likely can win. I'm going to pick Dripping Springs. I was very impressed that they beat Wimberley as handily as they did. 31-14 over a team that won state just 2 years ago. And as you mentioned, Jordan Moore is obviously a good quarterback. He was 15 out of 17, 177 yards. If they can get a good balanced attack with the run, they could be a very tough team in the district to beat. And so far, they're making their new coach, Bob Schultz, look good. This is his first year taking over for Howard Ballard. I'm looking for good things from Dripping Springs this year. So I think we got a good bet on this one. What do you say?
I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Let's go for it, man. All right.